right, I'd like to start off by saying welcome back to episode 8 of the Night Owls podcast. I'm here yet again. It's myself, Bierman. We have Jonathan, Peter, and Ben.
Hey.
Hello.
And today we are actually in a different location.
Yeah.
And you may notice that the quality is a lot
Way
better.
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot less reverby.
would you like to explain?
Yeah, so my dad's friend has a recording studio in his basement, and we're here now. And he records some like local bands and artists, and it's really dope. And my voice is cracked, but it's fine.
No, but a big shout out to him for having us in this studio.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
actually
Yeah,
it's an absolute
awesome.
pleasure to be here.
It's really beautiful.
He just gave us a
We're
thumbs
getting
up.
a thumbs up from
Yeah.
him.
So
That's what's up.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, we got a really cool bunch
you
of
guys are
topics
drinking the
tonight.
coffee?
Yeah?
Come on!
We started. We're allowed to drink it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
is that the
started.
rule?
Yeah,
I
sure.
thought so.
Oh,
course
okay,
it's
well,
a
I'm gonna
rule.
drink the coffee then. Wait, let's clink.
Well, we got to clink first.
Yeah,
Get ready. We don't have to worry about the earphones. It'll
that's
be
fine.
fine.
We still clinked. All right.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
that's
So,
yummy. That's really
Explain
yummy.
to us
Okay.
Let us
coffee.
know what this is.
So this is Oh, I wrote notes about this. Hold on, let me pull this up. Cause I had the guy. So I went to Coffee, which is the local coffee place by us,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to go in there because we didn't have a coffee for the week, and I knew they had like a coffee selection, but I didn't know they had such a big wide variety of coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so we are drinking coconut cream
Mhm.
coffee by Baltimore Coffee and Tea. That's the brand.
Okay.
It's a medium roast. The beans are grown in Brazil and it's brewed in Baltimore. So it's another locally brewed
And
company.
sourced,
Yeah. And yeah, it's super super sweet. I could drink it black, like if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we still want to do the same order?
Yeah, we always do.
Okay, so
Alrighty.
So okay.
It's sweet.
The end. Thank you for
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you so
Perfect, well
profound,
done.
Jacob.
I know, right? No, it's
The diverse palate he has.
tell me about it. I did not put any cream into this. I only put a little bit of sugar.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's I'm trying new things, and this is definitely
How
new,
brave.
very different from the other coffees that we had. But I'm gonna give this 3.8.
3.8. Okay.
3.8.
3.8.
Am I next?
I
I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's been
Yeah,
so
yeah.
long.
Yeah,
I've
you're
been
next.
on vacation.
It's you.
yeah. Actually,
Um,
where have you been?
I've been in Paris. I was in Paris for vacation. It was a lot of
Wow.
fun. Definitely
Aren't
enjoyed
you
it.
fancy?
Brush your
Wow.
shoulders a little bit.
Oh, here,
There
let me
you
get
go.
the dust off real
Here,
fast.
hold on, I think you missed a spot right here.
Should also bring up
Yeah.
last week's episode got canceled because not only were you in Paris, I was away for work.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, you were.
We couldn't find it.
We
couldn't,
on
but
guests.
the gang's back together, so it's
Yeah.
alright.
Yep, we have the.
Boys are back in town.
But anyways, this coffee is pretty good. I think I put a little bit too much half and half in it.
Hold on. You were in Paris and you didn't pick us up any French coffee.
Yeah, what the hell?
How was I supposed to bring it back through customs? I mean, I could. It would just
You
be a mess.
could have.
You're snuck
I mean, it'd be a
around.
mess. We didn't have a
Would it
lot
have
of
been?
time.
You didn't even
Can't
try.
just throw some
You didn't
beans
even.
in your
You didn't even
bag
We brought.
think about
all
us.
right.
and call it a day?
Fine. Wow.
In fairness, I brought French champagne, and you've had, Jacob, my French champagne before, and it was
Whoa.
fantastic.
So
Who's having
good.
French champ? All right.
I don't
Well, you
Not
weren't
sure
there.
you-
You
I don't
didn't.
drink, so that
You don't
doesn't
drink, and
apply
you
to
don't.
me.
You weren't there. You were in Toronto.
Hey, you know what? Next time.
We have more. First
Goof.
of all, we have two
Goof.
more,
Goof
and
is
I've
the
got
point.
wine.
I went to Ocean City and managed to bring back coffee. You went to fucking France and couldn't bring back coffee.
But he brought back champagne.
and I brought back champagne. You know, maybe when you know.
Anyway,
whatever.
what is your coffee review? You,
I put a little bit too much half and half in it. It's a little watered down, but I really like.
Yeah, I think that was me
I
too.
smelled the beans before, and I
Mhm.
really liked that. And I just wasn't prepared for how strong it was gonna be and how sweet it was gonna be. But I really like it. I think it's a nice, tasty coffee. I'd give it like
Yeah.
a 3.5 to 3.7 ish.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think I put a little too much half and half here in here too. So next time I definitely do a little bit less. But it's kind of hard to tell because that's probably kind of just the average amount that I put on,
Yeah.
like usually in coffee.
Yeah.
But with this, you really don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of sugar. You don't need a lot of creamer. It's very smooth and leaves, and it's kind of weird because it leaves almost I don't want to say minty, but it leaves an almost like kind of cold, creamy aftertaste in
Yeah.
your mouth. Does that make
Yeah.
any sense at all?
No, I agree.
I get what you're saying.
I can see it.
I feel like I'm kind of biased because I really like coconut.
Yeah.
And
It's a very heavy taste going down. Like a
I
heavy
think it
cream.
goes good with coffee. Something that I was thinking about. I feel like some caramel.
Yeah.
I always say
Caramel.
wrong. Whatever.
That is
Caramel.
the one way to say it. You're
I
wrong.
feel
if
like-
you say it another way.
I feel like caramel would go good with this.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah, I'd say. You good? You good, Beerman?
What?
You got something to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, didn't
listening.
think so.
I'm
Didn't
listening
think
for your rating.
so. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Waiting in anticipation.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm curious.
He's
Stupid
shivering.
ass
He's
face.
quaking. He's quaking. He's shaking in his boots down there, waiting for the.
All right.
radio.
I'm
Well,
not
here it is.
wearing boots.
Do you want to drum roll?
No.
Okay.
I'm full.
All right. Well, that was very pathetic anyway. So I'm gonna
Keep
say, I want to say out of a 4 out of 5.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's not bad.
Okay.
4 out of 5 stars. Yeah.
Ben?
The connoisseur.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I think it's really good. I really like coconut too.
Mhm.
I was like in the middle of making it how I make all my coffee with little cream and sugar, and in the midst of putting sugar in there, Jonathan's like, "Oh yeah, you probably don't need much sugar," and it's like, "Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
telling
Probably
me Now,
should have said
but-
something.
that." I don't think
A little
it's
sooner.
too sweet. I didn't put like a ton of sugar into it. I enjoyed it. I think it's real good. I don't know if it's because I really like coconut or because I haven't had any coffee today, but I'd probably give it like a 4. I
Mhm.
enjoy it.
Alright, so that's
Yeah.
overall that's pretty much around a 4 in general. So that's not bad.
Good work.
All right.
Solid average.
So currently
Yeah.
we have the time at
Just like me.
9:45, a little earlier than the usual recordings that we do. However, we do have a lot of very interesting topics to go over, ranging
excited.
from the NBA to windmills to
Area 51.
Area 51. That's
Aliens.
wonderful.
Wait for it.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Good job, boys. All right.
And then we go on to my topic. Do you guys mind if I go first?
Yeah.
If you
I do mind,
I guess.
actually.
so graciously want to,
Just
go
kidding.
for
You
it.
go first.
All
Go first,
right,
buddy.
so-
First is the worst.
My topic
Oof.
is going to be about Neuralink.
Yeah.
A new company brought up by Elon Musk, who's had Boring Company, Tesla, SpaceX, but this time he's going a little bit further, and he's planning on pretty much infusing AI with the human brain.
That sounds dangerous. as
It
fuck.
does sound dangerous.
Ergo, brain chips.
Pretty much, except what we're gonna do is it's kind of gonna be the other way around. So typically whenever someone thinks of a brain chip, it means like your brain is gonna have access to obviously like
The internet.
the internet and stuff like that.
Right. The Internet
But
of Things.
what we're trying to do, or what Elon Musk is trying to do,
FOT.
is he's trying to actually have an AI
Mm-hmm.
capability merged in with the human brain so that the human brain can process similar to an AI.
That is insane.
Well,
and
let's-
it's gonna cost a lot of money.
I mean,
Well, the thing
what
is-
it is right now, the first step right now is actually really cool. It's
Yep.
it's being used for people who are like quadriplegic, so
Mm-hmm.
that they don't
Yeah.
have to type out everything they want to say. They can just think it,
Yep.
which is really fucking cool.
That's
I mean,
actually-
that's the technology.
That's originally what the process is
Great
going
to
for,
see.
but they want to expand much broader into that.
As is always the
They've
case.
already begun testing on small animals, and from what I've most recently heard, they're moving the tests over to monkeys.
Elon Musk is the real life Iron Man.
really.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tony Stark is also... Well, not Tony Stark. Mother of God. Robert Downey Jr. is investing millions of
insane.
dollars to,
At this
to this
point.
tech,
Yeah.
to nanotech, actual literal nanotech.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
Do you remember
heard
that?
about that. Yeah.
But anyways, go on.
So pretty much, I just want to hear your thoughts about overall what this new technology could mean for, honestly, humanity in general. Because this is a gigantic step.
So
I got a few things about it.
I was reading. I'll go first,
You can go.
if you don't mind.
It's fine.
So I was reading the article, and as I was reading it, my feelings for it like went through a roller coaster of emotions.
Yep.
Because I feel like on one hand this could be a really cool beneficial step for
Yeah.
humanity, but on the other hand,
think about what could possibly go wrong.
If someone like the government gets their hands on it, they could use it for any sort of purpose, any sort of like the CIA, the FBI. What if they got their hands on something like that, and they could literally spy on our thoughts?
Black Mirror.
Exactly. Yeah. And that to me is a very scary thing. However, there's also like, and maybe I don't mean to sound like super conspiracy theory, but like there's also the theory that, you know, humanity's next step in evolution is gonna be like we're gonna transcend our physical bodies. As corny as that sounds, like there's the theory is like
upload our consciences.
Right, like we're gonna become like
a hive mind, somewhat.
Kind of like one of the theories about why we don't see any alien life is because they're all like they're not physical anymore. Is they're all like become so advanced that they're like I don't. Someone smarter than me could explain it better. But I mean, what if this is the first step in that? You know,
becoming a more sentient being. That's a huge.
Sounds real corny.
It's a huge stretch, and it does sound extremely corny. But
I don't think that's becoming a sentient being. I don't think that's what it is, because
this definitely has.
I think
grounds.
It's becoming oversaturated in information. I think humanity as a whole is becoming more oversaturated.
Well, we'll be dead by 2050, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're telling me. I'm looking at an article that says quote, unprecedented wildfires ravage the Arctic.
Arctic?
The Arctic. Parts of Greenland, which the name is not correct. It's almost all of its ice.
For those of you who don't know your Viking history.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Greenland's all ice.
They can't name shit, apparently.
Iceland is green.
Newfoundland.
No, because they name...
Yeah, Iceland is green with black sand.
The reason they named it that was so that
people.
invaders could go to Greenland and just freeze to death.
But anyways, there's hella wildfires there. Anyways, what I'm talking about is, you know, in this day and age where there's just so much information being processed by, you know, kids at like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, they have this phone and they have all this access to information. You know, is it really what humanity and society as a whole needs, which is being uplinked essentially to the internet or whatever it is,
Bless you.
whatever it will be, because you know, knowing Elon Musk, he's going to keep it private. He kept Tesla private for so long. He only opened public stocks recently.
Who knows what technology the government has? You know,
Well, that's more your topic. We'll get there.
Kind of, I guess.
A little.
I think there's more tech.
I think
in
it
there.
all merges, kind of.
Yeah.
Except for my topic.
It's a big sci-fi episode.
Yeah.
Big
the
fan
sci-fi
of sci-fi.
Because
energy.
honestly,
Owls,
the capabilities of this new AI Neuralink, it has so much potential, because we could have our brains function at the processing power of computers, which, if we could think as fast as that, like in 2,000 years.
Internet Explorer speed.
Yeah, IE 11. Great, can't wait.
If you think about,
Jay, just keep.
sorry,
You just gotta keep going.
Just fucking speak.
So, if you think about Neuralink and the possibilities that it may have, like, we could very well, like, in the human span of our timeline, like, think about how far the human race has come in the past 2,000 years. Mm-hmm. Imagine if we took our essentially processing power, our brain, and we sped it up even more.
Clocked it up, yeah.
Like, quite literally almost overclocking it with that chip. Like, that would
is
be...
It really... Don't we have cyberkinetics for that?
What is that?
Like, cyber... Like prosthetics.
Well, yeah, we also have...
Cyberkinetics is the next step, where we have these half human, half robot type thing.
Cyber.
Androids.
Android. Well, not essentially, because they're
I always mix the two up.
They're biologically human, but they are
cyborg.
mechanically made better.
Yeah.
Mechanically engineered to be better. I mean, that's the next. That's the scarier
Fine line
step.
to walk, though. That is like.
That is the next step that's going to tip humanity over. I think this is like getting there. This is the first step in cyberkinetics, and then it gets really bad. Then we go to the
technology has been
have a whole nother race war between them.
Great, that's great.
Possibly, you never know.
Technology,
Sex, mankind divided.
Okay, keep going.
Technology has been what is the word? It's been going up exponentially. Like throughout history, if you look, it's
the
line,
growth of technology.
right, it's an exponential line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
However, scientists are saying that it's starting to slow down.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be like a kind of a wavy line. But I mean, don't have
Either way, it's going.
Well, my point is, like, if it's a wavy line, what does this say about the future? You know, is there going to be a point where technology physically cannot advance?
Mm-hmm.
And is that the point where we upload ourselves into the internet? You know,
Well,
where that sort of thing doesn't really matter.
the thing with that is that we still have so much we don't know, and there's so much we could still learn and build.
And we don't even know
inside the
everything
known-
that's on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
much less.
How much
like,
of the ocean's unexplored?
Oh yeah,
Almost
A
80%.
lot.
we've explored more in space than we have our own oceans,
Just,
and
just
Well,
'cause
what's
space is
reachable
cooler.
in space?
well, yeah, of course, but there's so much more that we don't know about the world, and with this new upcoming technology, with specifically this AI processing power that we might have in the future, think about what that could mean with our technological developments. We could journey further into the seas. We could
Right.
technically develop possibly colonization on Mars, space exploration. Like, there's so
Space.
much
The
boundless.
final frontier.
Mm-hmm.
There's limitless potential to what we can do as a human race, and
I feel like you're way more jazzed about this than I am.
I
Because
I
I'm
extremely-
really not jazzed about it. I think it's a slippery slope, honestly.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
I think if it gets into the wrong hands, it could be militarized, weaponized.
I think
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
it's inevitable that it'll get into the wrong hands.
what
Yeah,
the
I mean,
problem. What
I
the
think
problem,
I think the folly of man, whatever, is
Mhm.
that we always want more and more power, and
Yeah.
It was just like when we were talking about how everyone should get internet, you know, or like they were talking about.
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
other
wanted
thing.
internet for everyone. It's like, well, some of these cultures, you know,
They're
just
right,
not-
what happened in Myanmar?
yeah, they're just not prepared for that. You know, is everyone prepared to be satellite uplinked?
Well, I don't. Of course
No.
not. I don't think so.
Simply not.
it's going to be a slow and steady process, obviously. But the thing is, I'm much less focused on what could go wrong rather than if we take the necessary precautions and this goes right, which it should.
I mean,
There's
ideally,
so much
yeah.
potential.
No,
But
you
you-
see,
but
I
you
don't,
said
I
it
don't
yourself.
think we can take all the necessary precautions because humans suck. We can't stop blowing each other up.
And also,
You
you
know?
you even talked about it. You know, man's folly is that we always need more. You know, more money, more whatever,
Yeah.
more anything. You know, that always leads to corruption.
I watched a movie a few nights ago called Apostle. I don't know if any of you guys have
Never
seen it.
heard of it.
I have not.
So, first of all, that movie is fucked. It's lots of gore and
Love
Ah.
that.
blood and shit. But it's like, it's a little much, but it's also like not
As much as a
unnecessary.
Tarantino movie.
No, it's different. It's different from a Tarantino movie. It's just,
Hateful Eight, man. That movie was fun. Did you see that?
but the movie, like, at its core is about like it's a study of like human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's about a guy that has to go in and save his sister from a cult. And the cult is like there are people in the cult that just want more power within their group.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you see like a power struggle in the movie, and it's really a really interesting way to show that struggle, I guess. But I think that I feel like we know like that humans suck, and we need to decide whether this is worth it or not. You know.
Yeah.
And I think for people like Jacob, like I think you would say that it is worth it, right?
Absolutely.
But
The potential is
We're too
Like,
cynical.
honest.
well,
you trust
torn.
humanity way too much.
I'm torn because the benefits could outweigh the negatives, but also if the negatives like if the government and the CIA were able to like spy on our thoughts, like we would be done. Like the humans, like we would be living in a cyberpunk world, you know?
Yeah.
We would be living in an Orwellian society, and that's I mean for me like that's the end of the human race, you know?
yeah.
I mean,
Well.
It's a mess.
Eh.
I don't think the way our government currently looks.
I'm much less focused. I don't know. I already said I'm more focused on the potential of what it could be and
Yeah.
not what it could.
If I'm
End up
being
if something
objective
went wrong.
and saying, yeah, the potential's great, but if I'm being just broad and understand what's gonna be, what could happen, you know.
Even past that, I just think there's an aspect of like you start to lose your humanity and like what makes us human in doing that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I mean,
I feel like a lot of technology these days that initially was the idea was supposed to be beneficial has slowly become more
Deteriorating.
like
Detrimental.
social media. Yeah, detrimental. That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like social media and just the convenience of everything has made us expect everything much faster, and made us more impatient. And I know I've personally found that in myself, and I can't speak for everyone, but like I feel like that's like a thing.
Totally.
You know,
It's made us much more toxic than we ever needed to be.
maybe yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. I think my final word on it is I don't think it's something that should be pursued super far into like that sort of territory. I think it's great that it's helping people who are like quadriplegic and whatnot, but like past that aspect,
Is it really necessary?
I don't think we need to be plugging
I think we're
our brains into computers.
I think we're already too attached to cell phones, and this cell phone has more
I
computing power than Apollo 11 had, so I don't think we really need much more.
I'd push it. I'd keep going because
I mean, you can keep going, but is it really necessary to release it to the masses?
I don't think it needs to be like hooked up to our brains though. I
Exactly.
think that's too
why
far.
I agree.
I think we should see
where it
everything
where it
that we
goes,
can
yeah.
do.
test the water, dip our foot
Like,
in,
not
and then,
necessarily
man,
hook-
humanity's fucked. Oh,
Not like hook everyone up to a Neuralink, but like
yeah. I mean, obviously,
I want to see it explored and expanded upon, and I guess even
tested
if that means maybe it gets into the wrong hands, I don't know. It sounds like a superhero movie.
and
Like
it's been going through a lot of tests so far. They're trying to be as cautious as they can about it, and even still, when it does get produced, not everyone is going to have a requirement to get it. It's obviously going to be a choice.
yeah, obviously, yeah,
But
I would fucking hope so.
yeah.
well, yeah.
Unless we're already in a normal alien society.
Well, whatever.
Maybe we are, and we don't even realize it.
Either way, I'm.
That's an
I-
interesting.
Sheep's
thing
for slaughter, you know.
But besides all the possible
Wake up,
downsides,
sheeple.
Yeah.
I think we just gotta wait and see what happens with it. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a huge step in another huge step in mankind. But
Sure.
Well,
possibly steps that we may have missed out, but we're gonna find out. Area 51.
Oh, are we talking about that next?
Oh, I guess so.
It
I mean,
segues so good into this topic.
I think we've all seen the memes about Area 51.
Facebook is just such a great
Yeah.
place sometimes.
They can't
Yeah.
stop us all.
You just really can't stop people on
I
Facebook.
I hate Facebook, but I will give it
Creates
this.
some great,
It has
Yeah,
its moments.
Produces some great content.
some great community.
Not really, but
if you will.
this one time.
And, just happens to destroy them if they're in Myanmar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yikes.
yeah.
Go back to that episode if you want to hear about that.
Yeah, it was episode 1, by the way.
That was not episode.
Yeah,
was
it was. Yeah, it was.
Holy shit. Really?
It's been a while.
Yeah, that was the first
Anyways,
episode.
keep going.
But nonetheless, I just think it's interesting to talk about like the actual potential of there being like alien life forms and like, do you guys think that there's stuff out there?
Yeah, the blanket question, do you think we are alone?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Jonathan?
If you were to ask me this a few years ago, I would have said, like, fuck no. Of course we're not alone. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, as I've done, the quote research, like,
Yeah.
I've seen, like, I've watched videos, I've Googled stuff, I've become more informed as much as I can, with the internet.
Yeah.
I think my answer is I don't know. I think the universe is a massive place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people think it's infinite. And if in that case, I would say there's alien life,
Possibilities.
because if it's infinite, there are infinite possibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
But which also seems a little weird when you think about that.
Phrased that way.
Yeah, but I mean, our galaxy is pretty big.
Yeah.
But if it's so big, why haven't we seen anything?
Maybe it's because it's so big.
Maybe, or maybe
Well-
they've died out before we got to see them. Maybe we're the only ones left.
See, I
I can't give a conclusive answer to that one.
I think you phrased it correctly. With if it's infinitely expanding, there's infinite possibilities. And my very
But that doesn't make any sense to me. That's just what I've heard. Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, my scientific mind, my very straightforward,
Right. Yeah, you're very scientific.
You're very big brain.
Big brain boy over here.
Right.
No.
Right.
Objectively looking at the way everything is, there's just statistically no possibility that there isn't something of some kind in any way, shape, or form in the universe. I mean, it's
okay.
just
So
too
life
much.
in general. Sure.
It can be
maybe
anything.
like
It doesn't
microscopic. Like, what about like?
I mean, bacteria is the building blocks of humanity. Well,
no,
not
yeah,
humanity, but
I agree. But what about
biology?
sentient life like us? Like
We're
smart,
not
intelligent.
sentient.
Yeah, we are.
I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, I guess.
What?
We are literally the definition of sentient. Like we can.
Oh, yeah, true. Fair.
So,
Oof.
like,
I'm gonna
intelligent.
sip my
Sorry,
coffee.
Big
hang on.
brain.
sorry, intelligent. Yeah, you're very scientific.
I
mind.
can't be wrong if I say it loudly. We aren't sentient.
Yeah, no, it
People
works for some
think we're
politicians.
smart
Doesn't
if we
work for me.
speak loudly.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me. It works for politicians. It's fine.
Anyway, so what about advanced life? Like
Advanced-
intelligent life?
Intelligent life.
Yeah.
Not sure. I want to say that it's always a possibility.
I want to believe, like X-Files. I want to believe, but
Well, not even like that. Like, it's just on a biological standpoint. I just think there's so many different ways that something can happen, and it doesn't. It as hard as it is for life to grow, I just don't think it's that hard.
Yeah.
In general, I think it's
Well-
there's millions of miles.
Sure, that is true, but you also have to think that the conditions have to be exactly right. Like
Well, I know, but I mean, we have possible planets. We know of possible planets that could have life on them.
Yeah.
And they
Mars
could-
has ice. That's
yeah,
We
and
did
it's a
detect.
dead planet.
No, we did detect. What was it? In
microbes or
yeah.
something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
biological life.
Yeah.
So
Microbes.
technically, that is classified as life. Is it sentient? Absolutely not. But is it life?
But
We
it's the
found life.
building blocks. It's the biological building blocks of what makes
Yeah,
up what
which
we
we-
are.
But
cells.
if we're talking about intelligent life,
I mean,
right
who's
now,
to say?
like
So
the
I think it's out there.
our okay, yeah, you go ahead, Ben. Sorry, I'm hogging it a little.
Yeah, we
I
just stole
definitely-
his topic.
I definitely think it's like out there.
I
It's
think
gotta
so
be
as
out
well.
there somewhere. It may not be like developed to a point where they can travel through space or whatever, and it's so expansive. Who knows how far away it is?
Yeah.
But it's got to be out there somewhere. I don't believe that there's like no way.
We're
that they're-
if I want to be like really honest, I'm sorry. We're just not special enough for just us to be the only ones.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I definitely think
Because we're not built well enough, we're
And
talking about this shit.
we're also like too busy fighting amongst ourselves.
Yeah, to really discover it.
Why
And
would
that's what
anyone want to invest in?
The human
World
race.
peace.
Yeah.
Well, what the sad thing is I think, and maybe in the grand scheme of things we aren't that special, but I think that right now I think humanity is pretty unique.
No, I
as far
think it
as
is,
far
yeah.
as we're aware, there's no one else out there like us in the universe.
Yeah.
Alright.
And the sad thing is that, like you said, like we're too busy fighting wars and
Killing each other.
arguing and
Over resources and religion.
like
Oof.
to discover that maybe we're not the only ones out there, and I think it's sad how we are so self-centered, focused on
Yeah.
ourselves, and that stuff isn't. I'm not saying it's not important, but I feel like we should work together.
I think humans as a whole just
Communist.
World peace for the aliens.
No, it's just like humans
World
just
peace
aren't.
for the universe.
We're just not able to
Wait,
think
that
that
wouldn't be world peace. That'd be
large.
universe peace.
We just can't think that big. Not everyone can think.
Well, I think a
as
lot of
out
people
there.
are also stuck in the idea that we are the only things.
Well, I mean, I think we've gotten so used to just living our lives. We never really have the thought of, are we really alone?
Yeah.
So I
Because
have,
it's sad if we are really alone. Because there's nothing else there.
sad. I would cry if
but I have a good thought process on this.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
ready for this.
So-
one.
Oh boy, Jacob says.
I'll see myself out.
Our planet is billions of years old. Within that span, how long did it take for life to grow?
I don't know, Jacob.
A goddamn long time. That's how long it took.
Thank you.
Now, within those billions of years, who's to say that there wasn't life on other planets? Who's to say that it didn't die out within the billions of years?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
within a spectrum of time. And if we expand this not only to like our planet and the planets around us, but to our entire galaxy, there have probably been thousands, maybe millions of planets that had life on it at some point.
Right.
While, of course, the number of planets without life is extremely more, you have to think that at some point in some time there was life. And it may be a smaller fraction, but I do believe there was at some point intelligent life. There is also a conspiracy theory that I read about, where actually a sentient life forms actually were colonized on Mars, but the planet died out, and they actually sent life forms over to Earth, the newly growing planet.
Sounds very Alex Jonesy.
It definitely is.
I'm sorry.
It's really questionable.
The aliens.
So, no, but that,
You know,
What the liberals don't want you to know is
The
that we're
liberals-
all from Mars.
we're all from Mars.
but that, that's a very
You gotta get the down.
it's a very different conspiracy theory out there, but it does kind of make sense. The fact that there was at some point life on Mars, the fact that it is now a barren wasteland, which is realistically what our Earth would look like in a few more billion years.
Try like 100.
Well,
The Earth is burning at alarming rates. I hope you know all of that.
well, absolutely, and who's
no
to say
one
that-
gives a fuck.
who's to say the same thing didn't happen on Mars?
Our president dunce.
And other than that, like,
Well, I think.
now I'm going
Well,
off
that-
of
that's-
conspiracy theory.
Well,
but
hold on. Well, that's you. So you brought up the fact that there could have been like hundreds of alien civilizations before us.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I was. That's what I was saying before. Like, what if we're the only ones left? You know,
Really?
there's
the thing with
another theory about like the steps of intelligent life. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but like or no, so it's called the Great Filter theory, and that's basically like different stages. There are like 4 or 5 stages that intelligent life needs to pass to, you know, become like immortal or whatever, you know. So I don't remember exactly what all the filters are, but you know, like one of the filters is like nuclear war. If we can get through nuclear war, or like not nuclear war specifically, but just great like
a
big,
great battle within ourselves. To put it more spiritually.
Spirituous.
Spirituous.
Thank you for your input.
Out here making
Continue,
words.
Jonathan.
But you know, once you know different races like pass through those filters, you know, they'll continue to live on.
Yeah.
But you know, they're really difficult to get through, and it takes billions of years. So we could be still going through our great filter, but everybody could have been, you know, wiped out already.
Yeah. Well, or maybe they're waiting for us to finish going through our great filter.
Maybe they're watching us.
Dun dun dun. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, theoretically, if there are aliens, does the government have a right to hide them from us?
That's their decision.
Fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that.
I want to know. I want to know about aliens.
The problem.
I think I have my right to know if there's
I
intelligent life
But
out
at the
there.
same time, humans are so like volatile and like
And
reactionary.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like
We would freak
scared
out.
of new things.
There would be religious groups that.
Fear in general is the most terrifying driving factor
The
for
only
wars.
thing more powerful than fear
Is fear itself.
is hope.
No, I was gonna say fear itself.
Well,
Okay.
you're wrong. So.
I don't know.
Because that doesn't make any sense. Fear
Sure
is
it is. The only thing scarier than fear is fear itself.
the only thing more powerful than fear
Oh.
is fear itself.
I think you're fucking up the quote.
Probably am.
Yeah, that's the John F. Kennedy quote.
Yeah.
I think. Is that
The
John
only
F.
thing we
Kennedy?
have to fear is fear itself.
Yeah,
that's
not-
what it is.
Anyway,
But that makes it better. He was a great
You're all
guy. He was
fucking
smart
up
until he had a
tonight.
bullet in his brain.
anyway, what were you saying? Oh yeah, so
Oof.
I would want to know if you know.
Wow.
So all right, so I think it would be different. Oh shit, I think it would be different if we had aliens on this planet and the government was hiding it from us, or if NASA discovered aliens and the government was trying to hide it from us. I think if NASA discovered aliens on another planet, like intelligent life, I think I would want to know about that.
What if
But-
they found something on the moon and covered it up?
But if they found something on the moon or found something on Earth, I would be like fuck yeah, I want to know about it. But maybe it would be best to just
All right.
like kind
The
of
thing
keep
with
it in the
that
shadows.
is the culture shock
Yeah, that's...
But
of
I have a
some-
theory.
of some groups.
I have a theory.
Oh, boy.
So we talked about this
The hollow
meteorites and
military?
meteoroids and meteorites. Which one hits the ground? I don't know, but the one that hits the ground, I'm sure they are harvesting those. I feel like
Who
they'd
is?
be whoever, the government, NASA, doesn't matter.
Okay.
But in general,
You know, the guys.
yeah,
The man.
The guys in the black suits.
the guys behind the sunglasses. You know?
Now the government
The
is
government.
harvesting meteorites,
No, but
and the liberals are hiding it. Sorry.
But listen,
Okay.
listen here.
But listen. Okay.
I think that they are hiding possible biological elements behind these meteorites that are coming through the atmosphere. They're holding things coming from miles away. They could hold
now,
any amount of
What's
anything.
going to survive?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
was about to
thinking.
say, how exactly would that
Who
work?
knows?
Because think
We
about
don't. Would you know? Would I know?
No.
No one knows.
I mean,
How
I guess.
hot-
And that's why they're hiding
That's-
it.
how
It's a hell
hot
of a
does a
journey.
meteorite get when it's crashing into the Earth?
Who knows? But it makes it to the Earth.
I
It's
mean-
hot.
But it makes it to the Earth.
That
I don't know. There is that like.
so does
what
a
is
rocket.
That, what is
We're,
that?
we are in a world of unknown.
Hold on.
we
What is
only
that?
know
What is
so
that one
little.
like
Anything can
microscopic
happen.
species that can like
We can be
survive anything?
wiped out like
Do you know
that
what I'm
and not
talking
even know.
about?
No.
It's like the really weird looking like.
What?
Cockroaches.
No,
what
it's
are
a
you
microscopic
I'm
species,
fucking I'm
dumbass.
with you. I know.
Amoeba?
No.
No,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's a microscopic
I know what you're
species.
talking
the fuck
about, but
you
I
mean?
don't know the
No,
name.
the microscopic species that can like survive anything.
There's
So,
a tiny
really-
species that can survive literally like.
what we brought this topic up for is to interrogate Jacob because he's in the military and knows their secrets.
Oh,
Where are
that's
the
right.
aliens?
Where are the aliens?
Oh,
Pyramid.
no.
Are they harvesting the meteorites?
Look, that's the Air Force. I don't know shit about
course
that.
Oh,
the Air
true.
Force.
That is Air Force.
That's
It's
a
Area
cop
51.
out. That's
Wait,
what that
who's
is.
That's the cover up, though. That's the
But,
cover up.
but what's the biological? What are you talking about?
I'm looking it up. So
So
micros.
the thing with that is,
I feel like it's a mutant.
now as much
It's
as the
not, I
meme
promise
is
you.
such a great
Okay.
thing, don't go to Area 51.
No, do it.
You will get shot and you will get
They,
killed.
they won't shoot you if
They
you know where
can't
to run.
catch all of us.
Well, legally they can't
The
shoot you outside the
government
fence.
does not want that
No,
blood
they
of,
cannot
like,
shoot you
3
outside the
million.
fence.
Exactly,
But the
well, there you
moment
go.
you pass the fence, they have been given the right to shoot to
No,
kill.
you can't. That is not allowed.
That's
You just
Wait,
you
why?
can't be walking around icing people like that. That's just not fair. Give me a chance, man. I'm trying to see some shit.
Yeah, at least give me like a 10-second head start.
Look at him. Like, look at me in the eyes. Like, don't shoot yet. I want to peek at something. First. And
Yeah,
then
no.
I'm like, all right, I guess.
I saw a text go out.
Water bear.
What is it?
Water bear.
Water bear?
Oh yeah.
Water bear.
Jacob, can you confirm that the government has actually had to meet about the Area 51?
I have
I feel like they
seen
definitely
text
have.
messages go around saying, "Do not go to the Area 51 raids if that is like." I'm one of my friends actually got a text from a platoon sergeant saying, "Hey, I really shouldn't have to say this, but please don't go to the Area 51 raid. You will be stripped of rank and you might get shot." So
In conclusion, go to the Area 51 raids.
no,
But
They
it's
can't
called.
stop us all.
It's called. So its full name is a tardigrade, and it
Sounds smart.
it's this thing.
Oh, that's hideous.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Looks like a
looking.
manatee, but
But
wrinkly.
you guys have seen this before, right?
Like
Oh,
legs.
yeah.
I feel like I have.
Yeah, but like
I never
basically
associated the name with the. Yeah.
No, I've never seen that in my life.
It-
water bears or moss piglets. That's fucking disgusting. That
It's-
makes me shiver. Gross.
It's like
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Could you find any worse names?
I'm at like microscopic beings. It's like a gray little bear-looking
Well, whatever.
bubble.
That's what I'm talking about. The building blocks of life are gonna survive after us.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So you know.
So do you think once humanity goes extinct, there's gonna be another species after us?
I mean,
sure
maybe not on this
something.
planet.
Do you
but
think
somewhere out
humanity
there.
is gonna survive the next 100 years?
Depends on how we.
I think
advance.
if I've actually really taken some thought to this.
This is giving me
I-
several existential crises.
Yeah,
crises.
I watched Interstellar on the plane, and there was a part where they were talking about like your child's generation will be the ones to die on this planet or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're being really thinking through this, at the rate we are using, we are exuding carbon emissions, and we are doing all this bullshit to the planet, deforesting the rainforest at alarming rates, all this whatever. I mean, I don't think humanity's gonna last another 200 years. I think the generation that we spawn and their generation are going to be one of the last. I think their kids, the third generation after us, is
Our
going to be the
grandkids.
last ones No, great grandkids.
I mean, still, the future generations are going to struggle, but the third one, you're
Sorry, I'll
saying,
be dead by then. It's fine.
We are
Not
gonna
my problem.
experience the beginnings of serious extreme weather. We already are. Hurricane Sandy was the first alarm bell of extreme weather. Then
San
these
Andreas.
bombs. No, well, San Andreas is a natural forming fault. That's
Well, yeah,
gonna
that's
pop
still
anytime.
natural. Yeah, that's
Just
in
like
the
Yellowstone's a boiling caldera ready to explode in the next. It's overdue by about 200 years.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
honestly,
the
why
thing is,
can we just get it over with
But
that
the
guy?
thing
Just
is-
wipe us out now.
do
Come on.
it!
Well,
The
you heard the
Earth
San-
knows that we're gonna fuck it up either way, so
You
we
heard
just deserve
the
it.
San Andreas fault is probably going to trigger the geyser.
Well, the big one.
Yeah.
The big one has been teased at,
Yeah,
but
but
I'm
it's
talking
big.
about
Big one.
humanity as a whole, our influence on it. Natural occurrences we have no control over.
True.
However, we have control over what the weather does, and what's really gonna fuck us up. I've done my research. Seriously, what's gonna happen is a shift in the global seas. If we warm the seas too much, the currents are gonna shift.
New York's going under.
Oh yeah.
Well, not even that. We're going under. Baltimore's going to be completely fucked. Chesapeake Bay is going to overflow. I mean, anything on the eastern seaboard is going to be gone. Ocean City wiped off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but once you change the movement of where heated water and where anything goes, where the jet stream takes this, the jet stream has shifted over the past 15 years. This jet stream goes. I'm waving, but I'm motioning. They can't tell, but you'll be able to tell. It goes
Okay.
like this across the U.S. Say this is Ohio right here.
In the
It
form
goes
of a J.
under U.S. Goes under
Right.
Ohio. If it shifts any lower, that's gonna bring so much colder air to the breadbasket of the Midwest, killing the corn, killing all of this. And I mean, objectively speaking, we don't have another 200 years. We have about 150 years, and then humanity could be dead, if not dead before that, because we're gonna kill ourselves from war.
I mean, we're jumping right into your topic of
Yeah.
renewable resources.
I mean, I
and-
think this works. Yeah.
That's going
So,
right into what you
so
have.
I mean,
This is why we need to focus on alternative energy and leave carbon emissions and coal and all
the
these.
thing is though, is it's so scary and it's so sad, but we are so like dead set on all that stuff already. There's so many companies that are already making millions off of them.
we
Well,
base so much of our
Exactly. It's hard
society
to
around it.
hard to shift.
Yeah.
Well, anything like this is hard to shift, but it's just so necessary. So, anyways,
Yeah, right.
You know,
my
what'd be cool
topic
is if we didn't pull out of the Paris Agreement.
That would have
being
been
the only
fucking
superpower
awesome.
in the world to leave.
I love making our
Aground.
whole country look like fools.
I say this.
so much.
I say this every time. Our post World War II gravitas and importance in the world is just gone.
Yeah, no.
Just completely gone.
We
I
look
mean,
like
Germany looks at
blithering
us like a
idiots.
bunch of fools. France looks at us like a bunch of fools. I was in Paris and constantly everyone was talking. Was like, "How do you like your president?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about politics.
Just-
I'm on vacation," because
Right.
looking at the news makes me sick.
yeah, it's
Not
depressing.
even from my liberal standpoint, just as a neutral, looking on it as an onlooker.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
fucked.
not. I don't even consider
But
myself
let's
a
Alright,
liberal.
let's
can I
move
just
away from
bring up
politics.
something
Sure.
really quick, small on politics? Did you guys see that thing that Germany printed about Donald Trump, like calling him a Nazi?
No.
It was like a giant deal because it's Germany
Yeah.
calling someone like.
Well,
if
there was
anyone knows what a Nazi is, it's Germany.
Well, there was a Holocaust survivor talking about how these concentration camps look
Yeah.
just like the ones he was in.
Cool.
So,
That's great.
but anyways,
That's how we're viewed.
let's move
Nice.
aside.
Good.
This is what the title says. The biggest wind farm in Africa is officially up and running. By the way, if you didn't know, Africa is the next continent to be almost self-reliant on their own energy that they're making.
Good.
Which is
That's awesome.
Fuck
they
yeah.
are the pioneers of renewable energy because they have all this land and all this wind from the Sahara Desert and all these other deserts. But anyways, the 310 megawatt facility was opened by President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya. So Kenya. Project consists of 365 turbines. What?
No.
Would you like
keep
to
going.
share?
Keep going.
Do you have?
I'm sure that
did you
microphone
have-
picks it up. What do you have to say, huh?
I said Senjata.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you for
Say it at the grand
relevant
finals,
video
you
game
fucking weeb.
reference.
It's the Lake Turkana Wind Power Project. It started in 2014 and just was inaugurated in March of 2018. And it's supposed to create 14% of all of the energy for Kenya.
That's awesome.
I am hoping. Sorry, you weren't done. Sorry.
And this brings me to a conversation that I had with some German friends in Paris, where they were talking about how their country is also very big on wind. Mm-hmm. And this is where I got a differing opinion, which really caught me off guard. And he said, and they're just so ugly, and they're so loud, and this, that, the other.
Turbines.
Yeah, and I said, and I told him, I was like, well, don't they create energy for your house? And he's like, no, they don't create energy for me. They create energy for cities, and I don't live in the city. Mm. So you have all this population that's being neglected and being used.
Yeah.
And really just
that's
pillaged.
Of course, we find a way to fuck up alternative resources.
No. It's not even that we fuck it up. It's a hard line. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, would you rather have oil drilling on your land, or would you rather have renewable resources?
Yeah.
You just have to shift the focus to renewable resources.
It's like a necessary evil sort of thing. Yeah, not even evil, but like we've got to get over the fact that fucking windmills aren't the prettiest thing in the world.
I think they look cool, to be honest.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Maybe they're
blades
not.
Are gigantic.
Maybe they don't sound great, but they look cool.
Yeah, but you know, that's something we have to get over. If we
it's
want
a sacrifice you have to be willing to make
live.
if you want to have your kids not suffer.
Well, if their houses aren't being powered by alternative energy,
well, they're being powered by like gas and oil. You know, they're out in the countryside.
Yeah.
It's that's still using non-renewable resources though.
Which
is like you were saying, that's a necessary evil, but that's something that's not going to be possible.
The problem that we have is that we keep finding natural gas, which burns cleaner, but still isn't emitting carbon emissions. Mm-hmm. And while we say, "Oh, it's like what we'd call it is they call it clean fuel," quote unquote.
It's like vaping instead of smoking.
Yeah, it's like it's still fucked,
right?
But like
still gonna fuck up your lungs.
And it's still gonna ruin you, but it's cleaner, quote unquote. I mean, it's this whole vision of, you know, having this clean energy. You know, the only clean energy you're gonna have is hydroelectric and wind and solar. Mm-hmm. Those are the three big ones. And what I thought of is hydrothermal. You know, this goes into my excitement for environmental engineering. Is hydrothermal vents at the bottom of the ocean that are constantly creating massive amounts of heat. You know, if we find the technology, if we break through that barrier of getting deep sea technology to harness the energy of these geothermal vents, you know, you can power tons of turbines that are placed into ocean currents that are creating hydroelectric power, and you know, you can do anything. You can really do a lot with that. I mean, that's powered by the Earth's core. Yeah. The Earth's core is going to be running far past our existence. Yeah. If we clean up our acts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this what's the country again?
Kenya. In general, Africa.
Okay, so
continent.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Kenya and the country of Africa, I hope this is gonna start setting an example. Yeah. For something that we really need to start doing.
Well, I mean, you can hope, but
it's gonna take a lot more effort, especially here where we already have like the groundswork for things that we have set up here. It takes a lot, especially to demolish what we have now and then set up something new.
The other thing is, like, with your thought of putting that stuff at the
geothermal vents,
that's gonna be expensive to like do, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
find those and then get there and place something. And the fact of the matter is, someplace like the U.S. government doesn't want to spend money on that type of thing. You know,
that's the problem. You have to put someone in
the military.
In power that cares about it. And it's just not as easy. There's so many things that need to happen before this can happen. Yeah. What I think the U.S. is really warming up to is solar power and battery. The lithium battery, the lithium ion, you know, that powers Teslas and things like that. You know, those.
That's starting.
People are really warming up to them.
I think it's gonna be less of like when you think about switching over to alternative resources. I feel like people think of such a very sudden change, and that's what turns people off to it, because like that's not possible. Such a sudden change isn't possible, but we can like integrate it slowly, and we can slowly. You know, people are starting to get solar powered.
I think
that 10 years ago there was nobody in my community who had solar power. Now a lot of people do.
I think the problem though is that like, we really need it to be sudden at this point because we put it off for so long. We've screwed ourselves over.
All the research I've done says we have about 20 to 30 years We have until 2050 until we can't do anything about it.
Irreversible.
Well,
damage.
the heating's irreversible, but the damage that it's going to be done is definitely mitigatable. Doesn't sound like a word, but you can mitigate what actually happens to the Earth. Yeah. But it's hard to say what we've done already and what we can still do. But it all depends.
And it's very, very sad.
But I mean,
and I'm having an existential crisis. But
I mean,
it's fine.
but we can't get down on ourselves about it because this is our only home. As of going back to the life that we may not know exists, this is what we have. We need to protect it.
We can't really share a planet with ET at this point.
There is no plan B. Literally, there is no planet B. Is what I meant to say. There is no other option.
Yeah.
I mean, and going back to these lithium-ion batteries that are becoming so powerful. There's supersonic travel being possible. There's these electric trains, these supersonic trains. Hyperloop is being built. Mm-hmm. There's Boeing is working on a fully electric jet commercial airliner, and could be possible in the next 10 years. If you do it, I'm gonna hit you. I swear to God.
What? We've got some great audio in the studio. Let me fuck it up by playing with.
You know what? I'm gonna fuck up your face. See how the audio likes that.
I'm sure it's gonna enjoy it. I'm sure it won't be as clangy as ours. But anyways. I don't know. I think we need to grow up here and figure out what we need to do about it. I saw these kids cleaning up trash on the side of 24. That's a start.
Was it just public service?
No, it was like this Boy Scout troop. But it's the little things that you can do.
You
need everyone doing something poorly, not everyone doing it perfectly.
I work at Gem Fabrics, and sometimes I wonder, do I trust? Some people don't take bags because they don't need them. Yeah, it's unhealthy for the environment. Like, if they trash it, it's just gonna go to beaches and kill animals.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder, is it worth it giving more bags to people? Because I feel like I trust an individual more than I do a corporate, like a big corporation like Gem Fabrics to safely dispose of the unused bags,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can say like music and arts. It was cool last year. They had a little thing that they put out, and I don't know if it was more of the corporation trying to save money or whatever, but they were like, "Hey, if a customer doesn't ask for a bag, don't give them one."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I never give out bags unless it's like specifically asked for, or they're walking out with like armfuls of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to do. But like I did that today, and it was so some of the customers at Gem Fabrics are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
There's this one lady who I didn't ask if she wanted a bag, and she got like 2 little small items, and I gave her a receipt. And I'm like, all right, you have a great day. And she's like, can I get a bag? I'm like, all right. Do you really fucking need a bag? Here you go.
Fight with her right there.
No, you can't have a bag.
These are my bags, ma'am.
Exactly. See this cash register? This is my cash register. And
Get out.
Everything around it is mine.
You got what you came here for.
Exactly.
Now leave.
That's the problem. We've become so dependent on these small little things that help us. These creature comforts, if you will. These plastic bags that we use. These reusable straws.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. These limitless supplies of plastic spoons, plastic cups, all this bullshit that no one really needs. Yeah. You can get alternative options if you spend the money and keep it.
I will say that they need to come up with something better than paper straws, because that shit like dissolving in your mouth is the worst.
There will be better inventions in the future. I mean, it's a good step. It's better than the plastic straws right
metal
now.
Straws.
If you're wondering, plastic straws consist of like 1.8% of garbage in the ocean. If you really want that's a minuscule amount to everything else. If you really want to be all these people that are like, oh, I switched to these reusable straws. Yeah, it's cool, but if you're really thinking about it,
but
there's
I think
so
a
much
lot of
worse
the pollution is due to like big corporations.
Yeah,
this is one of the few things that like as an individual,
I'm not trying to stray people away from getting a reusable
you know?
straw and a metal straw. That's great. Go for it. Be you. But I'm saying that objectively speaking, plastic straws is not.
Yeah.
Banning them isn't going to save the world, you got to do something else.
It's a step in the right direction, but there are other things that need to be done.
Ban plastic bags and plastic straws and this, that, the other. If you're caught with like if you have plastic bags, you're getting fined like $200. That's the energy that you have to have. Because people won't have plastic bags if you're gonna have to pay $200 for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your plastic bag licensor.
Yeah, dude.
$200
Seriously.
a pop.
No, but like that's just
Yeah,
and
no,
everyone
I
is
get
just
that.
like, you're an eco-terrorist. It's like, no, I'm trying to save the fucking earth.
Eco-terrorist.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, those
You
are
know-
eco-terrorists are people like that blow up pipelines in rebellion.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's even worse because now you got an oil spill, you dumb fuck.
yeah.
Great job.
Way to go,
How do we
Jill
do it?
Stein.
How do those grasslands feel now, you
It's
dick?
the SpongeBob meme where everything's on fire.
We did it,
We
Pat.
did it, Patrick.
We
We
saved
saved
the
the city.
You
Yeah.
used me for land development.
That
well,
wasn't very nice.
All right.
So, do we want to move on to my topic?
Yeah, let's
or...
I don't know how to
Let's go.
segue, but you know,
Okay, sure. Let's
This
move
one's
on
a
to my
flavor.
topic.
Yep. So for the final
That's the
topic, it's
topic.
going to be a different one.
Yeah, so this does not have as nearly a smooth segue as everything else
because
did.
it's totally a different topic.
So-
go for it.
You didn't get the memo about the sci-fi theme.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Sci-fi and
Sorry,
the world ending.
Ugh.
So, so on a little bit of a less existential note, the NBA is, they're not banning the word, but they're trying to stray away from using the word owner when referring to the owner of a team. And so it was Draymond Green, I believe, who was on the TV or the HBO show, The Shop. Yes, thank you.
LeBron
It was on,
James.
yeah. So it's a LeBron James show, The Shop, and Draymond Green was a big, big proponent of not saying the word owner. So I'm reading. So TMZ first reported this, and so I'm reading from their article. They said, Green said, "Shut up." Green said, "You shouldn't say owner," Green said, noting the title should be changed to either CEO, chairman, or something like majority shareholder. During the show, Jon Stewart agreed and explained, when your product is purely the labor of people, then owner sounds like something that is of a feudal nature. So, what do you guys think?
I am indifferent on the topic. I think it's, if I'm being really honest, I think it's just petty.
Yeah.
I think personally that it's, if teams are bought and sold, if you're wondering, games at their whole are a thing to be consumed,
Yeah.
They're televised, people consume and watch it. There's ads going on, there's things that the other, there's brands assigned to them, there's Nike for this brand, whatever. It's all a marketplace, and if you really want to say that you own a team as a whole, that's okay, I guess. I think people take it to a level.
Right, I don't think you would say you own a player.
Yeah, I don't think. I
I
people
guess
that own
technically
it-
that is true.
If
I
you
mean-
really want to go down the line, say, yeah, I
Because you
own
do
these
trade
people.
players and shit. Yeah.
Exactly, I own
I-
the rights to sell these players.
I mean,
if-
I think the guy on the... If you listen to the clip,
I did not, unfortunately. Sorry.
he made an interesting point. Like, it's a little different when it's, not a company and it's actually, like, labor of, like, people. Like, your whole foundation is based on the work of
Right,
people,
and the performance of people.
not of, like, a product that you're making or whatever. you
Well,
know?
Well, I think you
could
have
say
a brand.
you could say that for any company though. Like
Right.
you could say like the owner
You
of
could say
Giant
that.
Fabrics, I do labor and I do stocking and I
Yeah,
do
but
and I
but
move
what
around.
Joanne Fabrics is selling to the people is your product, not your people. What these people have, what you're selling with the NBA is your players.
Is the performance of your players.
Yeah.
Of the performance of your people.
You
They're
know.
selling a product,
And
which I guess is different. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of semantics
Yeah.
because so the word that they're now trying to use is governor.
Which I
That
fucking
sounds
hate.
fucking
Well,
stupid.
well, so the NBA itself isn't like pushing for this change. They like
No, yeah,
privately
they're not-
use governor, but they're not
right.
making any of the teams do the change themselves. It's all like a willing thing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's really I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. If it's something that the players prefer and the like their higher ups, their bosses are listening to them,
Right.
I think that's good business habits.
Right. If it fosters a better environment as a
Yeah.
whole, I'm all for it. But I just think that it's not as big as a problem as it
It
is.
feels like to me it feels like out of touch people trying to be overly PC. Like that's what it seems like from an outsider
Yeah.
perspective.
I
At
mean-
least to me. And that's like that seems
I don't
like
really follow the NBA
preachy and
personally.
annoying. Me
Yeah.
neither, but
I mean,
Draymond Green is so in his Twitter bio,
and the problem is that it's a predominantly African American sport.
Yeah, and
that's what's really
almost
getting
all
upset.
of the owners are predominantly old white men.
Mark Cuban owns the Dallas who it is, and he's like a millionaire.
but like these people are getting paid millions of dollars.
Right,
You know,
they're
and
not
it's
getting
not
fucked over.
And it's,
Not all of them.
but it's not.
There
it's-
are a lot of like professional sports players who don't make that much money.
So it's
I think we're
it's
talking
different.
solely about the NBA. Though.
It's different.
Yeah,
'cause
but even in the
people
NBA.
people in the
Oh, I didn't know
NBA
that.
are treated a lot better than people like say in the NFL.
Yeah.
If it was something in the NFL, maybe I would understand it a little more. But people in the NBA, they're getting paid bank.
Well, I think they're getting treated better here because they've fostered a better relationship, and I think this is just continuing to foster a good relationship. You know.
But
I can't see players getting paid all this money and getting hung up over the word owner.
exactly.
Personally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's the people
no
that are
matter
outside of the sport, and like, well, I mean, LeBron isn't outside of the sport, but
No matter how well your job pays, there should be a level of comfortability. You know, you wouldn't want to. Even if my job pays me well, I don't want my boss. I don't want to feel like my boss is like taking advantage of me or like.
owning me.
Yeah, I don't want any of.
But at the core
But
of it,
well,
again,
that's-
they're being
that
paid
is-
like
the
they're
thing with
being
that is you're
paid
trying-
somewhat. How does it feel like they're being taken advantage of them? If it's just the term, then
if
I feel
anything,
like
it's the opposite. They're doing them a service.
if it's just if they just feel like the term is something that's they're making them being taken advantage of, I feel like that's a little bit like semantics.
I don't know. I feel like no matter what you call it, you're still buying and selling
Exactly.
teams.
Exactly.
Like, and when you buy and sell, you are technically the owner of whatever you buy or sell, or govern.
You're the governor.
Whatever works. Honestly, the name doesn't matter. It's still the same concept. You changed it for a reason.
But,
okay.
But to be fair, I think there could be, if we're talking about it, if we're really thinking this through, probably are people that glorify the word owner, saying, "Yeah, I own this team." You know,
Yeah, and
like
when,
fuck all
with
these people, I
companies,
own them.
it's
Well,
And it's
the
hard to
CEO.
say who.
No one uses the term
and it's
like,
hard to say who cares about
owner
it.
anymore.
Who cares about the title of "I am the owner" or "I am the"?
well, if you use it like
whatever.
a glorified position like that, you're just an asshole.
Well,
Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're trying to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And if
I
you
would say-
change it, I think you take away power from it.
I want to know how much the word owner is actually used within like the circle of the
lot.
NBA
Probably a lot.
versus like
I've-
the
I-
CEO or majority shareholder. you
I
know?
only hear that term. I feel like when it comes to sports, and
Owner? But
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
again,
like,
but that's
I never
from an
hear
outside
the owner
perspective.
of the company. I never, you know.
That's
but I-
from an outside perspective. though.
I've just never batted an eye on
Right,
it.
but like, wouldn't the
Yeah, me either.
outside perspective be like? I don't know. I feel like
why not call them investors?
They-
That seems like nothing to them.
Why does I don't know? I feel like we're
I don't know. That was a random.
More money, more problems. You
that
know?
was just a random thought.
I
just feel
I
like
don't
it's not
think.
the
I
biggest
mean, of
fucking
course, like
deal.
I can't speak for Draymond Green and I can't speak for LeBron James, but I feel like it's, you know, it's a word. You know, you give words as much power as, you know, they have.
I do disagree with that statement.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think
I think the N word has a lot of power. I can't say the word. I literally can say the first word and then the word, the first letter and then the word. You know,
Well-
it's obviously got power.
I mean, you wouldn't
Culturally.
let someone talking down to you like affect you. I mean, maybe it does, but
I mean, but when it's your boss, it's a different thing because it's a
It's
position
degrading.
of power that they.
But the
can
word
take
is
advantage
owner.
of.
the word is owner.
The thing is,
Like that's such a small
It's
word. Again, I can't speak for these people, but like I
It
feel
depends
like,
on
to
how
me,
they're using it. If they're using it detrimentally, if they're saying, "Yeah, I own you, do what I
if
say,"
they're being
then
like
that's fucked.
racist fucks about it, then yeah, I mean.
Well,
that's-
yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to say. They say, "Hey,"
But
I
they're
think
not- they're not
It lends
being-
itself to have the opportunity there. Why not just eliminate the opportunity?
Yeah,
but
I
does
don't know.
governor really eliminate
Because
that
it's-
opportunity?
because the word is a
governor
term.
Yes.
definitely does.
There weren't governors of slaves. There were owners of slaves.
Yeah, that's fucked.
But it's still the same thing.
I
It's the
disagree.
same concept.
It's
I
yeah.
get where
You could change the word to whatever you want. You could change the word to
But it's still
I'm the
saying-
orange of this team.
But it still means the same thing.
Exactly. That's what
You
I'm
still
saying.
own the team.
Exactly.
They're trying to find a word for something there is no other word for.
CEO.
Well, I guess, but
People probably do use CEO.
chief executive officer. Yeah, I think they should.
That's a
I
little
mean,
mouthful.
they've moved away from owner of companies for like ever now, haven't they? I only ever hear the word
Well,
CEO.
you have
like,
CEO. Well, in my
Apple.
dad's business, there's a CEO and then there's an owner. And then there's a founder. There's a founder, an owner, and then a CEO,
So
and a CFO.
I pulled up Draymond Green's Twitter because in his bio, the last thing it says he's the owner of Performance Inspired Nutrition, which I'm assuming is his brand. And
Well, that's a little hypocritical, brother.
yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what he was saying. Is it's different when it's a product versus people.
I don't know what his brand does. So
People are the product.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not just like
Well, no, I'm saying
No,
that people are also the
yeah.
product. You know, you
of
have
what you're.
of consumer basis. You know,
I don't know. I mean, I don't go
Well, think
and
about
buy
the
Nature Valley granola bars and saying, "Oh man, I wonder if the worker who made this was a fucking asshole." Oh, I can't buy this.
Well, I
but
mean,
there are people who
but
look at
that's how
sports teams and
sweatshops
go,
work.
"Oh man, that player's a fucking asshole. I don't like this team anymore."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
I think
performance
they're
inspired-
two very different things.
Yeah, so Performance Inspired Nutrition is like
Energy bars,
multivitamins and shit.
probably. Well, that's not important to me. I couldn't care less.
Well, we know Peter.
But
You're
I
like,
don't know.
you know.
I see where they're coming from. I don't think it's a
I-
bad
I
thing to
do.
I think it fosters a better workplace relationship, and it makes the people happy.
Like, okay, so at the end of the day, I don't follow sports. I don't follow NBA. I don't really give a shit. But I think it's interesting because like 30 years ago, something like this would never have happened.
Or even been talked about.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
My final take on it is that, yeah, I guess you could take it to that place and say, oh, owner is a little bit of a shitty title to call it. I think people can take it to a racist place. But as a whole, is it really that important? Is it really that...
Especially when they're being
play-
treated so well.
It's not that big of a movement yet, I think. I think there needs to be more power behind it. When people say, yeah, I'm tired of having this person be called an owner. He doesn't own me, this, that, the other, da-da-da. But right now, there just really isn't that push for it. It just doesn't seem like the players are upset about it. I feel like there's a couple
as far as
players
we're
that are thinking deeply, critically thinking, which is great about it. But I just don't think that they have enough of a platform to really get excited about it. And, you know, you have this Me Too movement, this whatever movement, all this other movement.
Right. Those seem like way more important than changing the word owner.
Well, exactly. It's... And I
but-
think it has possibility
Because
to
it has
get a
to do with-
platform. And I'd be for it. I would
don't
be
know.
for it. I don't care, personally.
Right.
No, but
Yeah, it doesn't affect me, and it's just, it seems so minuscule to me. I really don't care, but I do think it's interesting.
I think not to jump on you, but I think the people that say it doesn't affect me are all assholes. I love you.
Why?
Because anything affects you. Everything can inherently affect you. We're all a human race, you know. That's how it is.
Using the word owner doesn't, whether the NBA of
Well, it
a
affects
team that's
society.
unrelated to me.
That's fair. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't
That's-
want to feel like
I've-
music and arts owns me.
I'm not saying that to be rude to you. I think there's people that I've come across people that have that attitude of, well, that doesn't affect me, when some of the problems that we talk about.
Well, I mean, if it was something like
global warming,
like global warming, of course that affects me. You know,
Yeah.
if I were to say if that didn't affect me, of course I would be an asshole. But this is
okay,
something
Or
so
like
irrelevant.
starving children in
And
another
in
country.
fucking Uganda,
Or
but
people-
this is
or people laying on
This
the
is
concrete
people
floor
wanting to
in
change the
this
word
is
on-
semantics.
if this
at the end of the
exactly
day.
if this is something that's important to you, then by all means go ahead and go protest on the streets that you think the word owner should be something different in the NBA.
Yeah, you
But
don't
if
own me
you-
type movement.
But if you
I could see that happening.
do that, like, good for you. I don't care. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my problem. Sorry.
Power to you, but
Sorry,
it's
not sorry.
It's not my thing.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I hope it works out for him. I say fucking go for it. Change
I
it. You know, if it fosters a better workplace relationship. You
Yeah,
know,
not to
I'm interested
Oh,
to see
yeah.
where it goes.
crap on their movement, but you know, I just don't think it has enough platform yet. It needs to get more people behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I
All
believe
right.
that does wrap up
Jam
everything.
packed, you know.
Yeah, that wraps
That
up
was
everything for tonight.
a
This
big
was
boy.
That was a meaty boy.
this was an extra long episode. If you guys stuck around till the end, thank you so much.
Sorry for your loss of
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, you can follow our Twitter page. That'll provide you with all the updates.
And
Do we want to say? Do we want to say?
let's
it?
let's say the
Okay.
thing.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
We're
YouTube.
making a YouTube
channel.
I was in Paris, didn't know, but hey,
It's been in the group chat.
Ah.
Thank you for reading.
So the point
it.
is-
He's been drunk
we
on
are-
Paris champagne.
We are going to be putting all of our episodes up on our very own YouTube channel. So expect that. Follow the Twitters. Learn the updates going on about that. Other than that, thank you everyone for listening in to the Night Owls podcast yet again. Stay tuned next week for episode 9. If you guys have any topics you might want us to discuss, DM us some ideas.
Tweet at us, whatever. Let us
And
know.
if you possibly want to be a guest on the Night Owls podcast, please DM us as well. We are always happy to accept guests. And
Absolutely.
We're always welcome to hear what you have to say.
Except for Chucky. We
Don't be
want him back
toxic.
here.
No, we
Don't be
love
toxic and don't be afraid to think.
No,
'cause
be
we're
toxic.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
want to fight on the podcast.
I personally welcome all different opinions. I want to have the most radical right wing and the most radical left wing person on the podcast.
Here we
But
are.
Have them go at it. You know?
So regardless, thank you everyone for watching
Yeah.
or for listening in, and we'll see you all the next week.